In this video, I'm going to talk about something very important in mathematics education. Something that, well, I think no one's talking about. Yet it's such a pillar stone of learning mathematics. Maybe it's taboo. I don't know. But it's the idea that pain, meaningful pain, is an absolute prerequisite to learning mathematics. And in that learning, there is a sort of transcendence that happens. So I'll start off with the story of the Buddha. The Buddha was actually a prince first. He was called Siddhartha Gautama. And his father, the king, protected the Buddha, gave him an extremely sheltered upbringing. He was surrounded by young people, beautiful people, people who looked up to him. He had nothing to worry about when it comes to food, shelter, an extremely comfortable life. And so the Buddha, being a young prince, being a young person, he was curious that there has to be more to life than this. He snuck out the palace on various trips, and this was like his first stage of learning. And he was shocked. He was shocked to see old people, sick people, just people who wandered around aimlessly. And he also saw a dead body, and that really shocked him. On a really personal note, I can tell you that seeing a dead body is actually very difficult. I saw my own mother's dead body 6 months ago. She died of a heart attack, and I had to face it. I had to face her, and so I can see what the Buddha went through. It's quite a jarring moment, and it does connect you to both life and death. So the Buddha then decides to actually just leave the palace. He sets out of the palace at the age of 29. He's married by then. He's got a young son, but he abandons all of them and he leaves the palace. And then he's on this long adventure here. He meets many people and he goes meditating. And I suppose the big sort of moment that stories tell you about is he's meditating under a tree, and that's overnight, and that's where he gets his enlightenment. And a lesson in part of that enlightenment is it's best to accept the world as it is, with all its messiness and warts, and that suffering is actually a necessary part of the human condition. So I'm gonna mention this book by Mark Manson, who then recalls the story of the Buddha. And Mark Manson's got this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep. You can imagine what the word bleep means. And Mark Manson is very interesting because he twists the entire self-help genre around. And he said his thing is, instead of asking, what do you want out of life? He asks, what pain are you willing to suffer for? So he says suffering is inevitable, but it's meaningful suffering that gives life's purpose. And we shouldn't try to avoid struggle. We should purposely choose a struggle that's worth it. And happiness and peace come not from eliminating pain, but from developing the skills, meaning, and perspective to endure and integrate it. So let's go to some mathematics now. Andrew Wiles was a mathematician, is still a mathematician. He solved Fermat's last theorem. It was a problem that was unsolved for 300 years. He fell in love with this problem as a 10-year-old boy, and he decided he's going to have a crack at it. And when he became a professional mathematician as an adult, he had a go at it, and he spent years in his attic in isolation. He didn't tell anyone that he was working on this problem, and he went through years of frustration, years of trials, tribulations, years of loneliness, but he loved this private struggle. It's what gave him so much meaning in mathematics. In fact, he did actually develop the proof and published it, but it turned out to be wrong. or there was a small mistake in it. So he had to go back to the drawing board and then work on it. And that's what real mathematicians do. In school mathematics, we're used to seeing a problem and expecting pupils, expecting myself to know the answer instantly. That's not how it works. That's really not how the real world works. Real world problems, real world mathematics problems are messy. You just cannot see a solution straight away. And that's the beauty of it. I'm not talking about kind of routine drills or just sort of stuff that you just learned and you have to regurgitate it. I'm talking about real problems, of which actually there tend to be very few in school maths. And this whole idea of meaningful learning through pain is completely applicable to my Dyscalculia tutees as well, especially applicable to them. Of course, they may have a lot of trauma, they may have a lot of anxiety, they may have a lot of history. So in their case, and just as everyone else's case, it's very important to provide a container, a safe space, a mentor. In my case, I am a tutor, I am their mentor, and gradually guide them through this pain. But this pain cannot be avoided. You have to go through this pain. And it's this pain actually that gives purpose. And I've seen many of my tutees overcome this pain and be completely different people. And to wrap things up, I believe all of us, every single one of us, have some desire to find something, to transcend something that's greater than us, greater than anything we can think of. By going through meaningful pain, we choose what the pain we're willing to suffer for. And I believe each one of us has that, and we are, by going through that and then sharing what we went through with the world, we can make we can educate people and we can inspire others. So you have your own story to tell.